I confirm the live streaming has commenced. I declare the council meeting on the 25th of November open at 5:30 p.m. and would like to advise that the meeting is being live streamed in accordance with the council meeting's live streaming, recordings and electronic policy. By being present at this meeting, members of the public consent to the city's live streaming and recording and subsequently publishing their voice on the city's website. Elder George Wally has prepared a few words for us tonight, and I would just like to share them with you. People have been here for a long time. I want to acknowledge the presence of people over that long time, with firstly the Mandurah Noongar people who continue to have an ongoing connection to this land. They have been here for over 50,000 years. This place, Mandurah or Mandurah, acknowledges a beautiful name, full of intent, of people living here and others visiting here. That intent gives us an idea of the ancestral land usage over that long time. Mandurah, the gathering place, is unique because even today we still gather here in the most beautiful place for many important reasons. Let us embrace the notion of people being in this space as we move forward together as one community. Tonight, we only have one apology, Councillor Peter Rogers. No other apologies? No. Members of the public are advised that any decision made at the meeting tonight can be revoked in accordance with the Local Government Act 1995. Therefore, members of the public should not rely on any decisions until formal notification in writing has been received. Answers to questions taken on notice. Can we please refer to the screens? Okay. Amendments to standing orders. There are no amendments required. Public question time. We will now move into public question time. Please ensure that your questions relate to the ordinary business of the city, the function of council or the purpose of this meeting. Please note that this is the opportunity to ask questions only. No additional statements or arguments will be permitted. During public question time, members of the public are given the opportunity to ask a question of council. Council will allocate 15 minutes for public question time. Once this time has been exhausted, I may move a motion to extend public question time for a further 15 minutes. The City is committed to ensuring fair and equitable access to public question time. In accordance with Council policy, each member of the public who wishes to ask a question may ask up to 3 questions. Public question time must be conducted in accordance with the City of Mandurah's standing orders. Questions must not reflect adversely on the integrity of the City of Mandurah, including an elected member, city officer, or other party. When called forward to ask your questions, please begin by stating your name. The City will make every attempt to provide an answer. Where this is not possible, your questions will be taken on notice and a written response will be provided to you once the necessary research has been undertaken. This response will also be included in the next council agenda. I now open public question time at 5:34 p.m. Yep, okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Can you please...
My name's Gary Buckland.
Thank you.
I've only got one question for tonight, and I'm just about the dredging that's taking place in a harbour where the canals come out. I'm wondering what sort of costs are involved with that. Would anybody know what we're being charged for that?
Thanks, Gary. I'll refer that question to the CEO.
We'll have to take that on notice to give you the exact cost.
Also, following up to that, I've noticed that we had a lot of runoff with the heavy rains, and a lot of the actual sand that was in amongst the limestone rocks and different things have now washed into the actual area they're dredging. Council at the moment is actually using truckloads of sand or trailer loads of sand to refill. The trouble is the next lot of rain that came through washed all that back into that same area. So I think at this stage you're fighting a losing war by not actually fixing the retaining walls.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. This is for questions. Do you have another question to add on to that, just regarding the sand?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time today.
What we can do, though, is provide a response to you in relation to what work we're doing in relation to that.
Thank you. Are there any other public questions? Can you please state your name?
Brian Perry,
Thank you, Brian.
always have been. I've addressed this to the Mayor. You stated you're going to get rid of homelessness in Mandurah. How are you going to achieve it? And does it mean ratepayers' money?
Your question is, how am I going to achieve homelessness?
What's that?
Can you please repeat your question?
I have to speak up a bit, I'm sorry.
Can you please repeat your question?
You said before you became Mayor that you were going to get rid of homelessness in Mandurah. How are you going to achieve it? And it will entail any ratepayers' money.
Thank you so much for your question, Brian. I will take that on notice
What for?
because that question is relating to what I stated during my campaign, and that was
That's right.
and I stated that I will advocate for homelessness support within our city, and I'll continue to do that as our Mayor. Thank you.
Will it cost ratepayers any money?
Brian, at the moment we do have a homelessness strategy, and
Whatever that means. Yeah.
okay.
All right, next question. When are you installing the traffic arrows at the corner of Leslie Street and Strother Road? It's been asked a number of times.
Thank you, Brian. I'll refer that to the CEO.
I'll just refer that to the Executive Manager of Built Environment.
Thank you for the question, and through the chair. We are currently under investigation, and we've got some traffic engineers reviewing that intersection, providing some options for different types of treatments, including modifications to the signals. So that's underway at the moment.
What's that mean?
Sorry,
Have you written to the Main
excuse
Roads
me,
Department?
Brian, can you please...
Mr Perry, are you referring to the intersection of Pinjarra Road and Anstruther Road
Yes.
in your question? Yes, so
I
you
think
said
it was
Leslie Street, that's why there was some
Gary
confusion.
Brown asked at the AGM actually about Leslie Street.
So is your question in relation to the traffic lights at Pinjarra Road and Anstruther Road?
And Leslie Street.
So is that Leslie Street and Pinjarra
Yes.
Road? Okay. Now,
So what's the answer? You're going to get back to me?
Excuse me, Brian, we're just referring it to the officer now.
Thank you, and through the Mayor. Works for Pinjarra and Anstruther are currently underway to do those intersection upgrades, including the right turn signal modifications. So that work will be completed. Well, it's underway now for the next few months.
Is that what they're doing in Strother Road now? Is
Correct.
That what you're saying?
Mr Perry, do you have any other questions?
Yes, certainly do.
Thank you.
If you wanted to have do you have an itinerant vendors licence system here where people have to pay if they have a donut van or a coffee van in a car park?
Thank you, Mr Perry. I'll refer that to the CEO.
through you, Mayor, yes, we do.
Does that mean they pay, do they? What about the woman that's got the donut van in Henson Street car park? If I wanted to do it, what would I do? Because she's got her
Mr. Perry,
power
it's
cords
not-
into the retic power box. Where would she have gotten the keys for that?
Thank you so much, Mr Perry. I'll refer that to the Director of Business Services.
Thank you, through the Mayor. The City of Mandurah has a trading permit guideline and vendors pay a trading permit fee. There are 2 sites that have been approved by the City that have electricity, and that particular vendor pays a trading permit fee and in addition a fee for electricity use.
Thank you, Director of Business Services. And Mr Perry, have you got any further questions?
Yes, I have. We're part of the metro area now, aren't we?
Refer that to the CEO.
Through the Mayor, no, we are not. We are a regional
Did the council have anything to do with the pedestrian bridge that goes from Greenfields to the railway station? Did we pay any money for it?
I'll refer that to the CEO. Thank you, Mr Perry.
We will have to take that question on notice. That was before my time, but we will take that on notice and we'll get back to you.
Thank you, Mr Perry. Any further questions tonight?
Yes. What's happening to the netball courts near behind Rushton Park?
Thank you, Mr Perry. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Through you, Mayor, the state government, through an election commitment, has granted a $20 million grant. It is a state government project to construct a regional netball courts. The site still has not been announced, and as I have said, it is a state government election commitment, so it is their announcement to make. And we believe that we will know more in relation to where that site will be early next year.
Well, I was about to say
Excuse me, have you got any further questions,
Yes.
Mr Perry?
because Rushton Park was on the outskirts of town years ago. People don't realise that Mandra's moved so fast. You should be going at the Lakes
Mr.
Road or
Perry,
something.
this is just
We've got the
question-
cemetery, we've got
Mr Perry, can I please stop
Yes,
you
I
there?
know what you're talking
This is
about,
question time.
How much are the Giants of Mandurah costing the ratepayers of Mandurah?
Thank you, Mr Perry. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Through you, Mayor, we'll have to take that one question on notice.
Thank you, Mr Perry. Have you got any further questions?
Yes, have you ever thought of putting a big crab up in Mandurah like they do in other towns?
Great idea, Mr Perry. I'll refer that to
Instead
the...
of paying out this,
No,
Anyway, I'm not allowed to make any
No, you're not allowed to
comments on
make
that.
comments.
It's
No, you're not.
ridiculous.
So I'll refer that question to the CEO.
I'll have to take that question on notice.
Thank you so much, CEO. Have you got any further questions, Mr Perry?
yes. Why do you think there was poor voter turnout?
Thank you, Mr Perry. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Through you, Mayor, we haven't received the election report yet. The election turnout at the City of Mandurah is consistent across the board. There are discussions through the state government and the Department of Local Government in relation to whether local government elections become mandatory and compulsory. So there is more information that will come out next year in relation to that. So we will inform our council and our community once the state government
Thank you so
provided-
much.
Could it be because they
Excuse
didn't get
me? No. Can you please...
Did everybody get voting slips in for the town ward?
Mr Perry, so you've got another
I
question.
didn't.
Does everybody get voting slips for the town
Yes.
ward? I'll refer that question to the CEO.
All right.
Thank you, through you, Mayor. If you did not receive a voting slip,
I
you
received
were
it for the
able
mayor, but not
Don't
the
speak over the
town
CEO,
ward.
please, Mr Perry.
you were able to come in and
read
request
to
a
the,
replacement
senior
ballot.
Mr Perry,
Senate.
can you please not speak over the
Well,
CEO?
she asked me, was they able to come in, didn't she?
If you were unable, if you did not receive your ballot paper, you could have come into the city and requested a replacement ballot. And on the day, you also could have gone to the polling booth location at the seniors and have also requested a replacement ballot on that day.
Why did you remove the bike lane from Peel Street?
Thank you, Mr Perry. I'll refer that question to the CEO.
Through you, Mayor, the bike lane still exists and you can still ride a bicycle on Peel Street.
Thank you so much, CEO.
Why did you...
Mr Perry, I haven't asked if you've got any further questions yet. Have you got any further questions?
Well, I just asked one. Have I got an answer, have I?
I did say
Through
that
the
you still
CEO.
can ride a bike on Peel Street.
It's what, sorry?
You can still ride a bike on Peel Street.
Well, but why did you remove the bike lane, is what I asked.
There is a dual path lane available for people to ride a bike.
Mr Perry, have you got any further questions?
Yes. Does the brewery still have to go through both houses of Parliament, State Parliament?
Thank you so much, Mr
Yep.
Perry. I'll refer that question to the CEO.
All right.
Through you, Mayor, yes, the state government will have to lay the request for
Is there any
A-class.
bylaws?
Mr Perry, I haven't asked if you have any other questions. I will need to extend question time if you do. Do you have any further questions?
15 minutes gone, has it?
It's almost gone.
Is there something to do with signage in Mandurah by law? How many signs you can have out, like all these candidates said, all the
It's-
visual pollution, a lot of people have said.
Thank you so much.
Is there a bylaw on that?
Mr Perry, I'll refer that question to the CEO.
Thank you, through the Mayor. Through a local government election campaign, candidates are required to request a permit for their signs and they are allowed to put signage out.
Thank you so much.
As many as they like.
Excuse me, Mr Perry, please. If you've got another question, I'll ask if you have another question and you can ask it. Do you have
No.
any subsequent questions for the CEO?
No, that's it.
Thank you so much, Mr Perry. Have a wonderful night.
Oh, thank you. I will.
You're very welcome.
After this, of course, that was a wonderful night. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to continue with public question time. Do we have any further questions? If we do, we'll need to extend public question time. No further questions? All right, we're now going to move into public statement time. Are there any public statements for tonight? No, there are currently no public statements. We will now move into leave of absences. Are there any leave of absent requests from councillors? Okay, we now move into petitions, and Councillor Wilkins, you have a petition that you would like to present to council?
Thank you, Mayor. The petition is regarding the Coodnup Foreshore Upgrade Stage 4. I would like to present to the council a petition that contains the signatures of 93 residents, all of which have been verified, who are requesting that council revise the concept plan for Coodnup Foreshore Upgrade Stage 4. I would like to move that the petition be received and referred to the relevant officers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Wilkins. As the mover, is there anyone willing to second? Thank you, Councillor Schumacher. I'll put that motion to a vote. I declare that vote carried. We now have presentations, which there are none. Deputations, I believe there's also no deputations. Can I have a mover and a seconder for the confirmation of minutes held for the October council meeting on the 28th of October? Is there a mover and a seconder for that? Deputy Mayor and Councillor Knight, can I put that motion to a vote? Thank you, that is carried. We now are going to move into an exciting part of our council meeting where we have the announcements by presiding members. Councillor Wilkins, would you like to share what's happened this month at the citizenship ceremony?
Thank you, Mayor. Earlier this month, Mandurah had the privilege of welcoming 84 new Australian citizens from 24 different countries at a wonderful ceremony held at our amazing Mandurah Performing Arts Centre. It's always a special venue, but it really shines on occasions like this. It was a special moment for our community, a reminder of the richness and strength that multiculturalism brings to our city. Mandurah is shaped by the stories, cultures and contributions of people who have chosen to make this place their home, and that ceremony was a celebration of exactly that. It was also a milestone event, being yours, Mayor Amber Kern's first citizenship ceremony as our newly elected mayor. Wanted to acknowledge your leadership and the warm welcome you extended to our newest Australian citizens. I'd also like to recognise Councillors Jenny Green and Councillor Ryan Burns, who were in attendance to share this important moment for our community. And also thank you to the City of Mandurah staff who again organised and delivered a polished and heartfelt ceremony. Their work behind the scenes ensures these occasions are memorable for every family involved. The occasion also held personal significance for me. My own family came to Australia as immigrants, and I'm a first-generation Australian, and I'll never forget the pride my parents felt when they became citizens. And that memory has always stayed with me. It made it particularly meaningful to be a part of that ceremony and a privilege to step up very last minute as the MC in Councillor Peter Jackson's behalf. But thanks for the opportunity. It's important to reflect on this at a time when some sections of the community look to create division by weaponising immigration. What we saw that evening was the complete opposite. Families embracing their responsibilities as citizens and a community embracing them right back. Mandurah is stronger, richer and more vibrant because of our diversity, and moments like this remind us exactly why.
Thank you, Councillor Wilkins. And we also had Councillor Zolani went to the Bounce Back conference. Councillor Zolani, can you share on that, please?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to say a few words to the council regarding my attendance at the Bounce Back ceremony, closing ceremony on 16th November 2025, where I had the privilege of presenting the city of Mandurah and Mayor Amber Kern. The event brought together more than 100 attendees, including students, parents, families, mentors, and community members. It was a formal celebration of youth leadership, resilience, and community impact, and I was honored to be invited as a special guest. Throughout the multi-day conference, participants engaged in leadership development, skill building activities, team challenges, and personal reflection. The closing ceremony highlighted these outcomes through students' presentations, recognitions of key achievements, and a summary of the program's overall impact. I had the opportunity to deliver a speech alongside Megan Marshall, MLA member for Rockingham, acknowledging the dedication and progress demonstrated by the young participants and commending their commitment to positive contribution. I also want to recognize the Rockingham Police Rangers for organizing a highly professional and very meaningful event. Their ongoing work with young people continues to strengthen confidence, resilience, and civic engagement across the region. Representing the city of Mandurah at this event was both valuable and well received. It further highlighted the importance of collaboration and investment in programs that support youth development and leadership. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Zolani. And we also had Councillor Mulder attend the Alcoa Peel Business Awards. Do you want to share a bit about the Business Awards, please?
Thank you, Mayor. So on the 15th of November, I, along with the Mayor and several other councillors, we had the privilege of attending the 2025 Alcoa Peel Business Awards. First up, congratulations to the Peel Chamber of Commerce and Industry for that entire awards process, culminating in the gala event and, of course, the many sponsors that made it possible. The awards process is about recognising the incredible people, ideas and hard work that keep the Peel region growing and thriving. So a very important event on our calendar. All of the finalists are to be congratulated for reaching that finalist status, and of course an extra congratulations to the incredible organisations that would judge best in their category. I won't go through all the winners, but I will call out two. First, the winner of the overall main prize, the Business of the Year winner, which was Boundary Island Brewing Company. And secondly, I'd like to call out the winner of the charity and not-for-profit category, Stronger Families Foundation. Now, many may not have heard of Stronger Families because it's not the kind of area that lends itself to advertising. Stronger Families, founded here in Mandurah, seek to break the cycle of intergenerational violence by clinical intervention of perpetrators of family and domestic violence. And I've had the privilege of seeing the quality and dedication of this team as a member of their board, and I want to take this opportunity to recognise that entire Stronger Families team for the difficult but very important work they do in our community. So again, congratulations to all the finalists and winners, and may they go from strength to strength. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Councillor Mulder, and very timely considering that we're in the 16 days at the moment of activism, and yeah, they do great work. Now, I get the absolute privilege of speaking about this month's local legend. Tonight, we have the honour to celebrate a group of people whose quiet care is making a huge difference in our city. The Backpack Buddies team is our November local legend. Backpack Buddies only started in 2024 with just 5 children at one school, 5 kids who needed food over the weekend. From that small, simple act of kindness, something extraordinary has grown. Today, 180 children across 16 schools in the Peel region are supported each week. This year alone, over 24,300 meals have been delivered. Meals that carry more than food. They carry dignity, comfort and hope. What makes this program so special is the heart behind it. There is no fuss, no judgment, no fanfare, just people who care enough to step in and make a difference. Every backpack is a reminder to a child that someone sees them, that someone cares, and that they are not alone. And when children come back to school calmer, more focused and ready to learn, the impact has ripples for families, schools and the wider community. Tonight, I want to personally acknowledge Kelly Hinder, CEO of Bridge Builders, and Leandri, School Programs Manager. along with the entire team, the board, the staff and the volunteers. Your vision, your dedication and your tireless care have turned a small idea into a program that is transforming lives every single week. You have shown what is possible when people act with compassion and commitment. Backpack Putties is a reminder that real change doesn't have to be big at first. It starts with noticing a need and deciding to do something about it. One small act of kindness can grow into something that touches hundreds of lives. And that's exactly what this program has done. To everyone involved, thank you. You are not just feeding children, you are feeding hope. You are building community, and you are showing us all what it looks like when people come together to care about one another. Through Backpack Buddies, our community grows stronger, kinder, and you're giving children, as I said, not just food, but hope and the support to thrive. So tonight it is my great privilege and honour to present you with the Local Legends Award. And now you get the chance to share a little bit about yourself if you feel you'd like to.
Push there. Yeah. So Backpack Buddies, like Amber said, started just a couple of years ago, just from an idea from talking to principals and chaplains around the time that there was lots of children who were stressed and anxious about going into the weekends because they didn't have anything at home, they didn't know what was in their fridge, they didn't know what lied ahead of them, whereas in school they were cared for by their teachers, their chaplains, with breakfast programs and with lunch programs. So we started to sort of think about what we could do and research around the world with programs that are happening in other countries, and then came up with the Backpack Buddies idea, which is now I think we're actually at 220 children, and we've actually moved into Rockingham as well. So we've got one school in Rockingham that we're helping as of term 4. The need is obviously huge, and particularly at the moment with a lot of reports coming out around child poverty in Australia, safeguarding children in Australia. It's becoming a massive problem that there are so many children living in our communities who are living in poverty. It doesn't necessarily mean they're visible on the streets. They could be on somebody's sofa, in a car, anything. It's something that's reaching epidemic level, and something I really am passionate about, especially it's affecting a lot of single parent families, which we obviously have a lot of. And it could affect anybody at any moment. Any one of us could have a relationship breakup. Any one of us could have a car accident and not be able to work anymore, and then we would be thrust into that. So my passion is really about trying to find programs and services that are safe, and a safe environment for parents and their children, particularly their children, to receive services and what they need. I'm also really passionate about campaigning for funding in the Peel region, because I feel like everything stops at Rockingham. So if ever you want anybody to come with you to state level and beat on some drums, I'm more than happy to come along and say, no, the need is in his area as well. It's not just Metro. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kelly, and thank you for coming tonight. You are more than welcome to stay for all the fun, but you can also leave if you have better things to do. We won't notice you sneak out. Okay, we now move to declarations of interest. Elected members and officers are now asked to declare any real or perceived interest that may have in respect of reports listed for consideration at this meeting. Should an elected member or officer declare an interest, I would remind them of the need to leave the chamber immediately prior to the item's discussion. CEO, have you received any interests?
Yes, Mayor. For item 19.2, which is a committee membership to advisory groups, I've received 3 impartiality interests. One from Councillor Daniel Wilkins, as he knows many of the applicants and was a council rep for the Mandurah Environmental Advisory Group. one from yourself as an impartiality interest as your friends or closely acquaintance with several of the community members considered for the advisory groups, and one from our director, Jude Thomas, for impartiality as she's a representative of the Mandurah Performing Arts Centre Board. The other item, 23.1, the confidential report, Community Citizen of the Year Awards. I have received 3 impartiality interests, one from Councillor Jenny Green as she was a member of the board, and a candidate who she sits on a board with. The next is from yourself, as you have friends or closely acquaintances with several of the nominees, and the other one is Councillor Owen Mulder, as he is an ambassador for one of the organisations.
Thank you. Are there any other declarations of interest? Councillor Cumberworth, Councillor Wright.
Impartiality interest for item 19.2. Thank you.
Thank you.
Because I have a previous work relationship with one of the nominees for MEAG. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Cumberworth. Councillor Wright.
Impartiality for the item you just spoke about, 23. Confidential report. Because I have a particularly close collegial relationship with one of the people and was also involved in employing people on boards.
Thank you so much, Councillor Wright. I'll get the paperwork over to you. Okay, we now move to questions from elected members, which we have a few. Do I read this? Okay, so first of all, we'll start off with Councillor Ahmed Zalani. Would you like to read the questions?
Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Zalani.
I go ahead?
Yes.
Okay. There's few questions. My first question is, what was the total allocated budget for the Cuba Place resurfacing and sealing works, including all planned contractor and material costs?
Thank you, Councillor Zalani. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. The total budget for the resurfacing work was estimated to be $116,948. It's important to note that this project was to be funded in full from the Asset Management Reserve.
Thank you, Councillor Zalani. Do you have another question?
My second question is, how much of the budget will now remain unspent as a result of the works not proceeding at this time?
Thank you, Councillor Zalani. I'll refer that to the CEO.
The total unspent portion of the budget of the project is $107,340.
Thank you, CEO. I'll ask you for your next question, Councillor Zalani.
My next question, did the city incur mobilization cost, cancellation fees, or administrative expenses as a result of stopping the scheduled works?
Thank you. I'll refer that to the CEO.
We've not incurred any of those costs. However, a total of $9,608 has been spent on the project to date to complete the required survey and service location works. Now the city has confirmed the service locations. The city will not be required to complete the task when the works have to be done in future years.
Thank you, CEO. Your next question, Councillor Zalani.
Can the CEO outline the sequence of events and internal decision-making steps that led to the postponement of the works following the last ordinary council meeting?
Thank you, Councillor Zalani. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. The Director of Built and Natural Environment inspected the road with city engineering officers. Following this, it was decided that the resurfacing works could be delayed by around 2 to 3 years, given the current condition of the road.
Thank you. Next question.
If the matter had not been raised at the last ordinary council meeting, is it correct that the resurfacing works would have proceeded as originally planned?
Thank you. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. The works were planned to commence in October. The cul-de-sac head is in a condition 5 state. The city rates roads 1 to 5, with condition 5 being the poorest state. However, the road is rated a condition 3. state. So that is why in the next 2 to 3 years, the city will have to undertake the works because of the current condition of the cul-de-sac head.
Thank you, CEO. Next question, Councillor Zolani.
In the city's assessment, would proceeding with the original scope of works have resulted in expenditure that may not have delivered the intended value for ratepayers?
Thank you, Councillor Zolani. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. Completing the renewal of the road surface in a timely manner helps prevent deterioration and further structural damage to the pavement. Currently, the project is an asphalt resurface, and it's important that the city continues to monitor this cul-de-sac head, because if it deteriorates further, the city could risk having to rehabilitate the road surface, which is more than 8 to 10 times the cost of a road resurface project. Due to the condition of the cul-de-sac head and the current surface of Cuvier Place being 32 years old, it will be recommended that the entire road be resurfaced at the same time, as the cul-de-sac head needs to be replaced. And if you do the road and the cul-de-sac head at the same time, it will create efficiencies through the reduced cost of asphalt and mobilisation, and there are better outcomes such as reducing the risk of cracks from the new works to the old and managing the levels better.
Thank you, CEO. Another question, Councillor Zolani.
What improvements, if any, will the city consider implementing to strengthen pre-work assessment process so that similar issues are identified before works are scheduled and communicated to residents?
Thank you. I'll refer that to the CEO.
So the city continues to strengthen project oversight and governance through its project management framework, ensuring robust and transparent selection of projects. The city has enhanced its planning and assessment processes by integrating up-to-date condition data, gathering through vehicle-monitored sensors, which detects a variety of road assessments and issues such as roughness, cracking, deformation and rutting. It's important to note that this road has a cul-de-sac that has a condition rating of 5, and works will need to be undertaken in the coming years.
Thank you, CEO. Your next question, Councillor Zolani.
What the official notification to residents about the scheduled works was issued less than a week before the planned start date. Can the CEO advise what the standard protocol is for notifying residents and why notice was not provided earlier in this case?
Thank you. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. The construction notification letters are usually provided at least 2 weeks prior to the city commencing works. Unfortunately, the notifications were delayed, leading to the city providing only 1 week notice for those residents.
Thank you, CEO. And another question, Councillor Zolani.
Only 3 more questions.
You're fine.
Only 3 more questions.
You're doing good. Thank you.
Can the CEO advise what criteria were used to determine that Cuvier Place required resurfacing?
I'll refer that to the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. A visual condition of the road surface was a primary criteria used to determine the renewal.
Thank you, CEO. And another question, Councillor Zolani.
There is 2 questions together. So, could the CEO advise the cost of surveying Cuvier Place to locate underground electricity, gas, water, and Trailstar services, and confirm whether this survey is now redundant due to the postponement? And connecting question is, would it be prudent to inspect roads due to the resurfacing before incurring survey costs to avoid unnecessary expenditure?
Thank you so much, Councillor Zolani. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. The total cost of surveying Cuvier Place is $9,608. That's inclusive of the traffic management costs. The survey was conducted to ensure that services were located at a depth that was safe to complete resurfacing works. The information will be utilised for future planning and resurfacing of Cuvier Place, as I said, which will likely to occur within the next 2 to 3 years. And if no more services are installed, the city will not be required to incur these costs again.
Thank you, CEO. No further questions, Councillor Zolani?
Further question. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. I'll now refer to Councillor Burns. You have some questions on notice?
I do, thank you, Chair. My first question, at the October Ordinary Council meeting, during questions on the Public Health and Wellbeing Plan 2026 to 2030, Staff advised that they'd be taking on notice the requests for clarification regarding Mandurah-specific climate data and modelling relied upon to support the climate-related statements made during the debate. Given the Table 3 of the plan identifies planning for vulnerable populations to cope with rising global temperatures as significant consideration for the city, and given the city already spends hundreds of thousands of dollars on decarbonisation initiatives, it is important to understand the specific data and resources city staff are relying on. Could the city please advise whether a response to those taken on notice requests has since been provided to elected members? If so, can that response be tabled? And if not, when can elected members expect to receive the specific documents, data sets and modelling that inform policy positions and guide associated city expenditure?
Thank you, Councillor Burns. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. A response has not been provided and the council will receive information in due course, and that will be before the end of the year.
Thank you, CEO. Councillor Burns.
Thank you, Chair. At the February 2025 meeting, Council supported my amendment requiring the City to issue a public media release once the contestable energy contract was executed, confirming the supplier, outlining the contract, how the contract meets the City's renewable energy targets, and setting out the additional cost to the community. In early October, staff advised me that the media release would be prepared after the 18 October election, following an elected member executive leadership team briefing, so that the community could receive a clearer explanation supported by the first quarter report under the contract. My questions on this are: when is the EM-ELT briefing scheduled to occur?
Thank you. Through the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. It's scheduled for the EM-ELT briefing next Tuesday on the 2nd of December.
Thank you, CEO. And your next question, Councillor Burns.
Thank you. I've got 4 for this set.
No worries.
Following that briefing, when is the media release required under Council's resolution planned to be issued?
Through the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. The media release will be issued by the end of December.
Councillor Burns.
Through which channels will the media release be published? For example, the City website, social media, or any local media distribution?
Thank you, Councillor Burns. Through the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. It will be published on the City's website and the local newspaper will be given a copy.
Thank you, CEO. And your next
Finally,
question.
how will the additional cost to the community arising from the renewable energy option be described as required by the amendment?
Thank you so much, Councillor Burns. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. This will be discussed with the Mayor as part of the media release process.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from elected members that haven't come on notice? Yes, Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you, Mayor. In regard to the petition I've just tabled to the relevant officers, can I ask if this group were encouraged to complete the public survey that is ending in December, and also will this petition be captured in that feedback?
Thank you, Councillor Wilkins. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. We will provide a briefing to elected members around the proposal of Coodnut Foreshore as the resolution that Council have carried. In relation to the correspondence, probably the relevant officer is not here tonight to advise the correspondence and communication that has been occurring with that group.
Thank you, CEO. Any further questions?
It's not a question. I do have another question in regards to that group. I'm assuming it's the group that we met with in September. I might wait until the officer returns to ask that question.
Thank you so much. Any other questions from... Yes, Councillor Schumacher.
Thank you, through the Chair, to the CEO. Since August last year, can the CEO please tell me how much money has been spent on the advertising promotion of the Western Foreshore, the business plan and the proposed development to date? So I would assume that'd be from the August meeting last year to today. And how much more is going to be spent on advertising, promoting the Western Foreshore
Thank you so much. Through the CEO.
I'll have to take that question on notice.
Thank you so much. Are there any other questions from elected members? No? We will now move over to business that are left over from previous meeting, which there are none. Recommendations from committees Also, there is none. And now we move to reports from the Chief Executive Officer. Okay. Please note that there is an amended officer resolution as shown on the screen. Do I have a mover and a seconder? Yes, Councillor Schumacher, Councillor Wilkins. Would you like to speak to that, Councillor Schumacher?
Thank you. Just moving our year ahead. Thank you.
And Councillor Wilkins?
Not much more to add. Sharing Councillor Schumacher's enthusiasm for spending time together for the next year.
Absolutely, we're all very enthusiastic. Is there anyone wishing to ask a question about the report? No? No questions? Anyone wishing to speak against? No? Okay, I'll put that motion to a vote. All those in favour? Wonderful, that is now carried. Okay, we now move to report 2, community membership to advisory groups and elected member appointment to working groups and external agencies. We now move to report 2. We will deal with the report in 2 parts, with the resolution 1 and as part 1, followed by the resolutions 2 and 3 as part 2. Please note there is a confidential attachment for resolutions 1, so any discussion relating to the community appointments to groups will need to be discussed behind closed doors. And there are minor city officer recommendations as shown on the screen. Do I have a mover and a seconder for that report? Councillor Schumacher and Deputy Mayor Smith. Would you like to speak to that, Councillor Schumacher?
No, not really. I mean, this is just the normal procedure, and it's very grateful to the people who actually nominate to serve on these roles and these boards. So
thank you, Councillor Schumacher. Deputy Mayor Smith?
Nothing greatly more than that, except just how lucky we are to have such passionate community members who are willing to volunteer their time for these advisory boards, and just capable community members with lived experience who I think will be a great asset. Thank you.
Absolutely. Is there anyone wishing to ask a question? Yes, Councillor Burns.
I need, firstly, some clarification whether this is confidential or not. I have some...
Only if you're discussing the nominations. So if you want to discuss any of the nominations, then we will need to move behind closed doors.
This is about the nominations, but not one specific individual, just as a group.
I'll refer that to the CEO. Do you want to...
I've got... Would you like to view them? Apologies.
Sorry. Okay. Yes, Councillor Burns, would you like to ask your questions?
Yes, I was reading with interest, and I was looking at, obviously, the calibre and the types of applicants, and I couldn't help but look at the Youth Advisory Group nominations. And while I'm not an advocate of quotas, it is always interesting to see the demographic of those applying, and clearly the youth, there's a qualification there. But I did notice that it was heavily biased towards females, and if I'm happy to stand corrected, but there was only one male amongst the 14 successful nominees. So I'd like to understand, if I was to support this, I need some assurance that the process followed was fair, and perhaps maybe pivot to an opportunity next year to improve that process. So I'm curious to know, there is some information in the report, but we had 14 successful applicants, and apologies if I missed it, how many applicants did we receive for that, and how many applicants were rejected in a sense?
Thank you, Councillor Burns. I will refer that to the Director of Place and Community.
Thank you for your question, and through the Mayor, I would need to refer back to work out the exact promotions that happened to encourage people to join the Youth Advisory Council. It was actually in the last council report where we endorsed the terms of reference. So it is a wide-scale engagement through Billy Dow Youth Centre, through the schools. There were all the nominations are in the confidential attachment. So there are 2 that are not recommended, and the reasons for those not being recommended are due to the engagement that we had with those, where they weren't put forward because we didn't know the confidence that they would remain engaged over the entirety of the term of this group. So officers certainly don't assess based on gender. And we certainly go out equally to encourage all people, regardless of gender, to put in a nomination.
Thank you. Do you have a further question?
Yeah,
Councillor Burns?
just further to explore that. Thank you, Chair. In the past, so this may be an anomaly, and as we average out over time, we might see it equally distribute. But have you noticed any past distribution? And is these nominees typical? Like in a sense, over the past years, has there been a predominance of female applicants? And would the city consider our approach as to, if that is the case, then why we don't have more male applicants for the Youth Advisory Board?
Thank you so much, Councillor Burns. Back to the Director.
Through the Mayor, look, I haven't noticed because it's not a group that I sit on regularly. Normally we do have a balance of different ages, different schools. It's normally quite diverse. So I would need to take that on notice to check previous membership.
Thank you. Councillor Burns, any further questions?
I suppose just to summarise that in a form of a question, then, is it fair to say that there is no bias, it's just more of either an anomaly for this year or just in terms of a representation of what's interested? And does the city see that as a concern going forward?
Thank you, Councillor Burns. Through the Director of Place and Community.
Through the Mayor, I can confirm that there is no bias, and that we can, in the future, we can look to try and encourage more nominations from males, and I would think this is an anomaly. I don't even know if we actually ask for gender at the time of nomination, so I don't even know if we have that information available.
Thank you. No further questions?
Thank you.
No, that's fine. Is there anyone wishing to speak against this item? If there's no one wishing to speak against, then I will... Do you want to close? No, I don't have to close. No, sorry. I'll put that to the vote. If you like to... In favour? Beautiful. I will declare that carried. We now move to the appointments to external groups. Any elected members who wish to be considered for nominations for the Peel Development Commission Board will be invited to speak to their suitability and experience to sit as the local government representative on the Peel Development Commission Board. The elected members will be allocated 2 minutes to present to Council the reasons they believe they should be nominated for this position. I now refer this to the CEO to provide an overview of the ballot process, which I don't believe we need.
Maybe if we call for nominations, and then if we do require a ballot, I might walk through that process.
Worries. Is there anybody wishing to nominate Councillor Knight? There are no other nominations? Okay, we'll move to the next one. Oh, would you like to do your speech anyway, Councillor Knight? You're welcome to.
I can do it. Look, I'm happy to. Look, I would really like to ask Council for their consideration to put me forward for the PDC nomination. I have a long and demonstrated involvement across our region. I've been the chair of the Peel Harvey Catchment Council, the chair of Walga Peel Zone and a member of the Peel Regional Leaders Forum. I've been on council for the past 14 years, and in that time I've come to understand the advantages and the challenges that our region face. And as a graduate of the Australian Institute of Company Directors, I appreciate the importance of working together productively to ensure that the people of our region benefit from the vision of the PDC, and their vision is a progressive, prosperous and a dynamic region with a culture of care. So would very much like to be a part of that group and assist in the development of our region.
Wonderful. Thank you, Councillor Knight. And we will forward your nomination to the Minister of Regional Development to be considered by the Minister for a term as determined by the Minister. We now move to 3, approved elected members' appointments to the following external agencies and organisations for the term expiring the 15th of October 2027. So we first move to 3.1, the South West Regional Road Group. Are there any nominations other than myself?
I was going to, nominate the Mayor.
Yes. So the Mayor, which is me, and the Deputy, is there somebody? Thank you, Councillor Zolani. And nobody else is wishing to nominate for that one. We move to... Sorry.
Councillor Zolani.
Councillor Zolani. Thank you. 3.2, the Peel Mosquito Management Group. Is there a nomination for the position? There's one position and one deputy. Councillor Green for the position. And for the deputy?
I'll go for
Okay. 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 So Councillor Wright for the deputy and Councillor Green for the position, please. Thank you. And now for item 3.3, the Parimutualist Partnership. We have one position and one deputy. Would somebody like to nominate for the position?
Nominate.
Councillor Knight, and for the deputy?
If nobody there, I will nominate, but if somebody
Okay, no worries. And Councillor Cumberworth for the deputy. And then we move to 3.4, the Mandurah Performing Arts Centre board position. There is one position for that. Is there a nomination for the board position? Councillor Wilkins. And there are no other nominations. Okay, wonderful. That was a lot easier than last meeting. Thank you, everybody. We now move, I need a mover and a seconder for part 2 of report 2. Do I have a mover? Yes, Councillor Knight, and Councillor Schumacher as a seconder. Would you like to speak to that, Councillor Knight? No? Councillor Schumacher?
Not much, just to say thank you to those that have nominated for representing the city and council.
Thank you, Councillor Schumacher. Is there anybody wishing to ask a question regarding the nominations? No questions. Is there anybody wishing to speak against? And there's no one wishing to speak against. I'll put the motion to a vote. If you would like to raise your hand if you're in favour. Okay, I declare that vote carried. We now move to report 3, review of local laws. Do I have a mover and a seconder for the resolutions on the screen? Deputy Mayor Smith and Councillor Wilkins as a seconder. Would you like to speak to it, Deputy Mayor Smith?
Thank you, through the Mayor. I would like to approve the commencement of the statutory review process by endorsing the advertising of the 3 local laws, being the Bush Fire Brigade local law, fencing local law, parking and parking facilities local law. This is purely a review program. I appreciate the officers doing it in a tiered approach, both in regard to resourcing but also ease of digesting information. It's a requirement under the section 3.161 of the Local Government Act to undertake the formal reviews, and for that reason I'm happy to move this officer's recommendation.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Smith. Councillor Wilkins?
Not much more to add, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Just look forward to hearing the feedback that comes back from the public. I do have a question though.
Yes, we're going to, yep.
Thank
Would
you.
you like, I'll open up questions then, Councillor Wilkins.
Through you, Mayor, can we just get clarification on where this will be advertised, and if, again, if the people that don't have access to computers and Facebook and whatever else, will they also see it advertised?
Thank you, Councillor Wilkins. I'll refer that to the Director of Business Services.
Thank you. Through the Chair, we're required under the Act to undertake a public notice process, and by doing so we'll include a number of locations, and that does include by electronic means, so websites, social media. In addition, we place a public advert in the paper, and we also include the public notice in our libraries and our admin building as well. So we are covering a lot of ways for the community to engage in the process.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Is there anybody wanting to speak against? If there is nobody wishing to speak against and no further questions, I shall put that to the vote. If you'd like to raise your hand if you are in favour. Everybody is in favour. I declare that carried. Okay, we now move to item 4. The 2024-25 Mosquito Management Annual Report. Do I have a mover and a seconder for the item that is currently on the screen? Yes, Councillor Schumacher and Councillor Cumberworth. Councillor Schumacher, would you like to speak?
Thank you, through the Chair. A very comprehensive report that we see annually. I think there is one thing I've learnt a lot about over my years on council, and that is mosquitoes. La Nino, El Nino, breeding cycles. Look, to date, I mean, it must be Hall's Head is free of mosquitoes because we don't get a lot. But I know that the mosquito management team do a fantastic job in what is incredibly trying environment. The difference between La Nino and El Nino years cannot be overemphasised. And I just seeing what we got getting written here. I thank the team. Actually, they would. I've got to admit, I've got to say to Scott that I've missed his presentation because he normally does one. Oh, he's here. I missed the presentation. So to Brendan, Kim, Scott and Peter, who are the team behind the mosquito control, it is a hell of a lot of work dealing with other local governments, health departments, state government. But in all, considering our environment, surrounded by water, with the rising, the tidal influence that our estuary now has, I think they do an incredible job under what could be deemed as some of the worst conditions in the world for mosquitoes. So congratulations to the team.
Thank you, Councillor Schumacher. Councillor Cumberworth, as the seconder, would you like to speak to the report?
Mosquito management in Mandurah is absolutely critical to our flourishing city. I do have some recollection some time ago when maybe the budget was reduced and it was an absolute tragedy. Mosquito-borne disease is a serious issue, and minimising mosquito populations is absolutely critical, if not the most important thing for our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Cumberworth. Is there anyone wishing to ask a question? Oh, we've got questions. Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you, Mayor. It's not specific to this report, but definitely mosquito. When I got home, I had the Mandurah Times delivered on the driveway, and before I chucked it in the bin, I did see a mosquito story on the front page that basically was warning our community that there's a fairly significant season ahead of us. I just wondered if the city were pivoting in the way they educate and inform the community with this news.
I'll refer that to the acting director.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. One of the things we've really spent a lot of time on over recent years is our community engagement, and you would have seen from the report the amount of work that goes into that through radio, Facebook, particularly around our actions, like with the treatments, keeping people informed of how often that's happening and the work that's being done. So I think this year was an extremely difficult year, and over the years we've seen during these really difficult years a much better understanding of the community, of what drives those difficult years. So in terms of the way we'll educate, I think we will keep talking about that, but we have got quite a robust system, and we've done that over a long time to try and educate the community. So as we move forward, if there's specific things that pop up that we want to inform the community about, we'll let them know, but I think we've got quite a robust communications plan around that.
Thank you. Councillor Smith?
Thank you, through the Mayor. I do have a question, but I just did want to speak to that as well. I do want to commend the community engagement officers. I've been at multiple events this year, and there's been the Fight the Bite campaign, and I've had a little bit too much of a close look at some of the mosquito larvae because my son was quite enthralled by it at the Dawesville Community Centre. There was also Wonders of Our Wetlands, so that was another community engagement which I found really beneficial. Just wondering, I noticed in the report that the Mayor in April advocated to the Minister for Health to explore options for increasing budget flexibility to reflect environmental variability. Given, I'm sure, after that newspaper article, there will be a high level of community interest, is it something that this city will continue to advocate for?
Thank you. Through the CEO.
Thank you, through the Mayor. Yes, we will continue to advocate, and as part of the advocacy framework, as I think all elected members understand the public health risks and the mosquito-borne diseases, that it is important for our community to be able to move freely in Mandurah. So that will be something we continue to advocate for. And I know that the team through the CLAG are also advocating through the Department of Health officers.
Can we express what the CLAG is, just for people?
Contiguous Local Authority Group.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Councillor Green. Sorry, Councillor Shoemaker.
Perhaps not a question as much, but I'd also like to add to this, and that's why I put my hand up to be on this particular...
Question time, not
okay,
statements.
Question time.
Yeah. Do you have any questions?
What is the budget that you set aside for the works that these fabulous people do?
Thank you.
And that so that we've got some got some idea of how we can manage the expenditure, because I believe the expenditure also, comes from purchases in America and things like that. So,
thank you.
And training. So the budget that we've set aside, is it increased or decreased?
Thank you. Councillor Green, I'll refer that to the CEO. I'll refer that to the acting director.
The budget for the CLAG is quite complicated because we obviously have members from other local governments plus the Department of Health contributing. But in the report, the shared budget that we have is an expenditure of $578,326 across the participants that contribute to that. However, we're also responsible for labour and equipment. So we also employ a senior mosquito operations officer plus a mosquito operations officer plus 2 vehicles and a number of other things. I don't have that number in front of me at the moment, but our contribution goes beyond the CLAG funding itself. So we contribute a lot to the overall program, and we review that regularly to make sure that we're doing everything we can.
Thank you. Any further questions, Councillor Shoemaker? No, that's awesome. Is there anyone wishing to speak against this item? If there's no one wishing to speak against it, I'll put it to a vote. Everyone in favour? I declare the item carried. Okay, we now move to item 5, the monthly financial report. Please note the minor amendment to page 133 of this report as circulated. There is no change to the City Officer's recommendation. We're going to have a report. Jared, would you like to come and give us an update?
Thank you. Through the Mayor. So presenting the financial report for October 2025. As always, we'll start on the graphs. If we can just move to the next slide. So the graphs for operating revenue and expenditure. Operating income is above budget, operating expenditure just below budget, where we'd like to see them tracking. On the next slide, we have our graphs for capital. You will note that the non-operating or capital income is looking quite low. We can only start collecting that income as we complete capital projects, so that is very much in line with the capital expenditure side. So as we see an increase in capital expenditure, we'll also see an increase in capital income. Just moving to the next slide, our interest trends. So our interest saved through our loan offset totals about $57,000, and we're still seeing term deposits attract interest of around 4.1%. A look at our rates receivable to October. Last year we had 57.2% collected. This year at the same time we have 61.1% collected, so we are tracking ahead of last year. I would like to note though that we have a large number of interims in at the moment that is affecting our collection, so they are not due yet. They are due 30 days after we issue them, but we are still ahead of last year, so that's good to see. Where it's affecting our rates collection is these slides. So properties that have a debt of greater than 10,000, we are just where we were last year at the same time, and 3 to 10 we are just above. As I mentioned, those interims are skewing this data a little bit. We have a number of budget variations in the October report that I'll take as read in the report, and we also have 3 tenders that went through in October, and I'd also like to note that the City's procurement team observed the tender evaluation process and is satisfied that the probity and procedural aspects relating to the evaluation were compliant. Thank you.
Thank you to the Manager of Financial Services. I will now ask for a mover and a seconder for the resolution that is on the screen. Do I have a mover?
Apologies, I need to declare a conflict of interest as the directors of Advantiering are my cousins.
Okay, one moment.
Just
leave the room. Thank you, Councillor Cumberworth, for that declaration. It's an impartiality declaration, so Councillor Cumberworth will remain in the room and vote. So do I have a mover and a seconder for the report as is on screen? Councillor Knight, and a seconder, Councillor Schumacher. Would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you. Look, very happy to move the motion as before us on the screen. There are a number of budget variations, but they are all laid out. It's a comprehensive report, and I thank the officer for the monthly presentation. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Knight. Councillor Schumacher.
Nothing, thank you. Further, thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Schumacher. Do I have any questions from elected members? Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you, Mayor. Good to see the world-famous Canopus restoration project getting a mention in here. Are we any closer to storage of the Canopus, a future house for it to live in?
Thank you, Councillor Wilkins. I'll refer that to the Director of Place and Community.
Thank you for your question, and through the Mayor, yes, I feel we are getting quite a lot closer. There have been on-site meetings this week, and there are a couple of different locations that have been scoped out at the rear of the Mandurah Museum.
Thank you. Any further questions? Councillor Burns?
Thank you, Chair. If the relevant officer could speak a little bit more to that 92% variance on capital revenue grants and contributions years to date. Specifically, is it a timing issue, or does it reflect project deferrals or lack of progress or other?
Thank you, Councillor Burns. I'll refer that to the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. In general, it is a timing issue. So as part of the monthly financial report, we're required to list variances. And in note, just finding the note, in note 13, it states that the revenue for, sorry, I'm just finding that. The grants, it is a timing. The capital grants are recognised in line with capital expenditure. So, and sometimes we can't claim a grant unless we've spent the money. Sometimes there's some grants that we're allowed to request funding in advance. However, it's generally a lag, and but it is in line with the capital expenditure. So it is likely, because it's a timing variance, that we will see that increase over the year.
Thank you. And
Councillor
subsequent,
Burns, yes.
I note the note, but I was seeking to see maybe an interpretation if any of that funding is under threat or a concern to the city.
Through the CEO.
Thank you, Mayor. Not that has been brought to my attention.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from elected members? Is there anybody wishing to speak against the item? If there's nobody wishing to speak against the item, I'll put this to a vote. Can you raise your arm if you're in favour? All elected members are in favour. I call that carried. Thank you very much. We now move to motions of which notice has been given, and there is none. Notice of motions for consideration at the following meeting. Does anyone wish? No. Late and urgent business items. There is none. And now to the confidential item. As there is an item of confidential business, can I ask for a mover and a seconder that the meeting proceeds behind closed doors in accordance with section 5.232 of the Local Government Act 1995? Councillor Burns and Deputy Mayor Smith as the seconder. Can I put that to a vote? All in favour? I have that carried. On behalf of Council, I would like to thank the members of the public, the press, the officers and the staff for attending, and would kindly ask, without looking up, that you all leave now. Thank you so much. Can I confirm that the live streaming is reinstated? Okay, thank you. Live streaming has recommenced. Can I please adjourn this council meeting for a 5-minute break? A 10-minute break? And we're back in 10 minutes. Can we please turn off live streaming? Okay, thank you. I recommence the meeting at 7:56 p.m. and I ask for a mover and a seconder to go back behind closed doors, please. Yes, Councillor Cumberworth and Councillor Zolani as a seconder. Everyone in favour? Can we please close the doors and can we please cease live streaming, ensuring that recording is still on? Thank you. Thank you. Can I now ask for a mover and a seconder that the council endorses the recommendation that was made behind closed doors? Councillor Zolani, Councillor Schumacher. Anybody wishing to speak against that item? Any questions regarding that item? Can I ask for everybody in favour of that item made behind closed doors? Everybody's in favour? I declare that item carried. Thank you. And this concludes the meeting. Thank you for your participation and the support in assisting the meeting to run smoothly. I declare all business concluded and close the meeting at 8:01 p.m. and request that live streaming be terminated, please.